49. एवं व्यवस्थिते योऽसौ आत्मानुभवगोचरः स एव मृतिभीत्यादि रहितं ब्रह्म नेतरत्. So when this Atma is ascertained on the guidelines so far given, that Atma, and what is that Atma? Anubhava Gocharaha Atma, the Atma which is accessible to the Atma Anubhava, or which is attainable by Atma Anubhava. Atma Anubhava is Anubhava, experience in conformity with the true nature of Atma. That Atma, so discovered, directly cognized in this manner, Saha eva mriti bhityadi rahitam Brahma. That itself is Brahma, free from Mriti, Marana, Bhiti, Bhaya stands for Samsara, means free from Samsara. Both Marana, Bhaya, Upalakshana for Samsara, free from Samsara. Itaratma, anything other than this Atma, who is so Anubhava Gocharaha, identical with Brahma, cannot, is not Brahma at all. In this context, we are trying to analyze the exact nature of Atma Jnana. So what is the nature of Atma Jnana? Why this has to be analyzed? Because this knowledge, Atma Jnana, the knowledge of one's true nature, I, Atma, is totally distinct from any other types of knowledge. Even the mode of getting it different from gaining other types of knowledge. So, and in that context we are seeing any knowledge has got an experience true to the nature of the thing as its basic constituent if the knowledge is direct, means if the thing is available for direct knowledge, if it is available for direct cognition, that knowledge should necessarily have an experience, an anubhava in conformity with the thing in question. If it is not available for direct knowledge like nitya paroksha, swarga, this is not possible. Now the question was, how come in the case of Atma such an experience is ever possible? If an experience in conformity with the thing is the basic constituent of knowledge, in the case of Atma Jnana what it should have the constituent? Atma Anubhava. That same thing applies here also. Brahma Jnana means Brahma Anubhava. Atma Brahma being one and the same, only viewing from two different standpoints. At the individual level, the same Chaitanya we call as Atma. At the entire Jagat level, the base is the same Chaitanya we call as Brahma. Names differ, stuff is one and the same. So now, you say, this Atma Jnana should have its Mula Bhuta Ghataka, basic constituent as what? Atma Anubhava. The question was, how this Anubhava Atma is ever possible? Why not? Because if we analyze in the world, almost all experiences are in terms of objectification of the thing that is being experienced or known. Vishayikarana, objectification of the thing in question, is indispensable. And that objectification is by whom? Experiencer or that knower, Anubhavita or Jnata, or called as Pramata. So knower, the Pramata. So that objectification is required. Atma being something which is not available for objectification. Why Atma is not available for objectification? Atma cannot be separate from this Anubhavita, experiencer, or that knower, Pramata, Jnata, because Atma is the very Swarupa, the true nature of Pramata, Anubhavita, experiencer. It cannot be objectified as different from itself. This is true, this is the fact. Atma cannot be objectified. Now, all our experiences are with objectification. But if you closely scrutinize, you will find that all these countless experiences which we undergo in our life, wherein Vishayikarana, objectification is so indispensable, you will invariably find what is experienced is inert in nature. Where Vishayikarana, objectification of what is experienced or known, is involved, invariably the thing in question that is experienced or known is jada, inert in nature, and the Pramata, who knower, or that Anubhavita, the experiencer, is distinct from what is experienced or known. Pramata, knower or Anubhavita, is it jada or sachetana? Sachetana. Thing experienced or known is achetana, inert in nature. This we can find without any exception whatsoever. When it comes to Atma, is Atma jada? Not jada. In fact, the very knowledge principle, the very principle which is Anubhava, Swarupa, because of which you are able to know all the jada thing, including yourself, the Pramata, the Anubhavita. Who is Pramata, Anubhavita, Ahankara? Is a combination, unholy combination of Chaitanya and that Ahankara Vritti. I am the body, etc. This Vritti. There also what is required? Chaitanya is required. If this is the case, how without objectification, how is it possible to gain Anubhava of Atma? That is the main hurdle. For this we have to know for certain, for experience, there is no rule that what is experienced should necessarily be an object. It is true for inert thing, but experience without being objectification is possible only in case of Atma and not in the case of anything else whatsoever. Even your thought is inert, is being objectified. When the emotions, etc., are objectified, they are not objectified through the indriya, sense organs, but directly objectified by Chaitanya. That's why there is a specific word for that, Sakshi Bhasyaha. So they are directly objectified by Sakshi. Whereas the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, these are objectified through the Indriyas, Jnanendriya. That distinction is there. But whatever is experienced, known, needs to be objectified if it is inert. But there is no rule that experience means objectification is certainly required. There is such a no rule at all. So another thing, there is also no rule that without pramata, without anubhavita, no experience or no knowledge is possible. Again here, all our experiences, all our varieties of knowledge are with the presence of who? The knower, the experiencer. That is true. Yet there is no rule that the pramata, the knower, must be necessarily present for all the experiences. Can you cite any experience where experiencer is not available and still experience is there? Deep sleep state. Deep sleep state, where were you? Do you know that I was sleeping? You know that you are lying down. But exactly when you are sleeping, at that time you don't know I am asleep. You don't know. Who is that? Other the one who now say, look here, I am listening. Do you know or not now? Even if you are so much engrossed, when I draw your attention to this, yes, I am listening to what is being taught. The Shrota is available now. The Shrota is available, and what is being Shravya, what is being heard here is available. So like that, but in sleep, such who is that experiencer at that time is not available. Why? Antakarna is not available. Yet experience of sleep was there or not? You recollect? I slept well, I did not know anything. Means without anubhavita, without pramata, without jnata, without the knower, without the experiencer, still experience is possible. One more example is in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. The Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the dhyata is not there. The one who is the meditator is not there. In Savikalpa, dhyata is there. Dhyata, dheya, dhyana. Meditator, meditated, and meditation. These triputis, these trios are there. Whereas in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, there is no dhyata. Then it was dheyaika rupa. Entire antakarna assumes the form of what is meditated upon. Dhyata also is not there. Dhyana also is not there. Means there also what is possible? An anubhava, an experience is possible without the presence of who? Pramata. Now actually speaking, here in the case of Atma, if anubhava is required, pramata is not required. Why? Atma Chaitanya is Anubhava Swarupa, Swayam Jyoti Swarupa, Swaprakasha Swarupa. It is the very knowledge principle. You need Anubhavita or Pramata to know an inner thing, but not for Atma, because itself is knowledge principle, itself is the very experience principle. That is not necessary. On the contrary, anything that Pramata knows and experiences cannot be Atma. Whether he infers or let the Pramata do anything whatsoever, it cannot be the cognition of Atma. Do you know why? When Pramata cognizes something, Pramata with knower is there or not? Is there. This knower Pramata is not the intrinsic feature of Atma. He is an impostor. He is the one who is falsely attributed to whom? Atma. This may be a little difficult, but better you understand it, okay? So that not that difficult as such. little close application of your mind is, that is what is expected. So now this pramata, the knower, the anubhavita, himself is an imposter, is not an intrinsic feature of who? Atma. So therefore, because of the nature of Atma being what it is, it being the very Anubhava Swarupa, what is not required? Pramata not required, Pramata not required, and therefore experience is possible because you need not operate any means of knowledge also to cognize, but means of knowledge is required for some other purpose. What is the purpose required? Vedanta, we say means of knowledge. What is means of knowledge? Pramana. Anadigata, abadhita, hitavat, pramajanakam, pramana. That means which gives you a knowledge. What type of knowledge? Anadhigata, not earlier known. Abadhita, which knowledge cannot be falsified or it cannot be proved wrong or proved otherwise later. And that which is for you, it is very useful in nature. So that which is useful in nature. So that is what is the one which gives you pramana. Now here, pramana is what? Anadigata, abadhita, hitavat, pramajanakam, pramanam. So that which is anadhigata, which is not known earlier by any other means of knowledge. Abadhita, the knowledge cannot be negated or falsified by anything else, and it is something which is useful. For us to know what Atma is, we do make use of what? Pramana. And what is the pramana? Vedanta. But we should be very careful. Atma is not an object prameya of pramana Vedanta. All Vedanta does is, it removes our wrong notions of Atma, but final cognition is not in terms of objectification. Eyes serve as a pramana to see the form. For this pramana of sight perception, the form of the microphone is an object. Like that, for Vedanta, the pramana, Atma, Brahma is not prameya. And what it does, it simply removes the ignorance. Once ignorance is removed, Atma in its true nature shines on its own. Oh, look here. Suppose in the darkness to see something, what you need? A light torch is required to see the sun. Do you require light? No. Suppose the sun is covered by clouds. I think then we have to have searchlight, is it not? What is expected? Clouds have to move away. That's all. Clouds have to move away. There also light is, though you are not able to see the sun because it's covered, you don't need the light. In fact, the clouds are there, you are able to see because of sun behind them. All that is required is the clouds have to move away. Like this, our Swarupa, Atma Swarupa, the Chaitanya, which is Anubhava Swarupa, in its true nature, free from samsara, is, if now not directly cognized, there are some clouds. And those clouds are presented, do you know by who? There is one thief sitting there. And that thief is posing as your very, very fast friend. Do you know who is that guy? Ahankara, much more precisely, Antakarana, mind. A chor yahi hai. But it helps you. You know, look here. If you know a thief as the thief and the thief knows that you know that him as thief, he becomes friendly. You know? Really? If you know a thief as a thief and the thief knows that you are aware that he is a thief, that fellow will behave properly. So therefore, first know this mind as the thief, who is denying you your own Swarupa. Because, see, look here, if Atma is Anubhava Swarupa, that you see. So therefore what I have said now, in the case of Atma, Pramata is not required, Jnata is not required, truly no Pramana is required. But still Pramana is not required for objectifying Atma. But Pramana Vedanta is required to shed all our wrong notions about ourselves, and then what? Handle this thief in such a way that you are face to face your Swarupa. So now the question is, that is, what is the nature of this Atma Anubhava? How it can be gained? So, if it is not available for objectification, how is it ever possible to have the Atma Anubhava? We need not worry about that, because this Antakarana, that what is the mind, though it has denied us this knowledge, it has got a provision within itself to make us directly cognize the Atma Swarupa. Before probing to that, we should find out, why are we not able to cognize our Swarupa, which is called as Anubhava Swarupa, all along? If it is Anubhava Swarupa, what exactly these words mean? Swayam Prakasha, Anubhava Swarupa, Swaprakasha, Swayam Jyoti. Do you know what they mean? That means such a vastu doesn't need any pramana nor any pramata. For you to listen what I talk, what is required? Ears and mind, is it not? So, now, to see an object, you need the light, provided the eyes are taken for granted. To see the sun, what is required? No, he is self-luminous, is it not? So likewise, here Anubhava Swarupa means it is Anubhava, 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 whether your Jnanendriyas are there or not, whether your Karmendriyas are there or not, whether your Antakarana is there or not. That's why in sleep, though Antakarana is not functioning, what is there? Anubhava is there. For any other Anubhava, do you need Antakarana or not? See? Seeing, hearing, tasting, touching, smelling, remembering, or that means all these emotions, etc., you need the Antakarana. These Anubhavas are through the, that means the instrument, but itself is what? Anubhava, 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 Anubhava. If it is Anubhava Swarupa, why should you not get that Anubhava in conformity with Atma Swarupa? So, sun is Swaprakasha. Means what? Prakasha, 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 Prakasha. All along, so long as sun is there, all along is Prakasha, Prakasha, Prakasha is available. Is it not? Like that. If my Swarupa is Anubhava Swarupa, it should be all along what? Anubhava, 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 Anubhava. Have you got it or not? Atma is Anubhava Swarupa, means Anubhava, Anubhava, Anubhava. Have you got all along Anubhava? Yes or no? Come on. Yes. But the question is that Anubhava in accordance with your Swarupa? That is the problem. We have got Anubhava, because why? There is not a single moment in life without Anubhava. But unfortunately, it is not in conformity with Atma Swarupa. What has gone wrong? Where has gone wrong? As far as Atma is concerned, no problem there. Why? Atma is never subject to any change whatsoever. Avikriyaha, not subject to manifestation. Not because of any deficiency or defect on the part of Atma, we are not able to have Anubhava in accordance with Atma. No. Because Atma is always in its own true nature without any change whatsoever. And yet, if we don't have Anubhava, means what is that? The culprit is the mind. The mind is the one which is projecting certain things which denies the Anubhava in accordance with the Swarupa. Just as in a movie, the film is moving so fast, the arc light cannot be seen on the screen. What is obstructing? All these pictures that are there in the film, on the film, and they get projected on what? The screen. As a result, the screen which is white and lit by what? The arc light is not available. But in and through all the projections of the pictures on the screen, what is there invariably? Light, 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 light is there. The very screen is the basis for that. Likewise, so our varieties of experiences, because of the film of the mind which makes use of all the gross body, etc., and all the objects, etc. That means the Anubhava Swarupa Atma for our actual experience is what? Screened, as it were, by these all projections of the mind in terms of specific experiences. When I say specific experiences, means an experience corresponding to a particular object having a name and a form and intrinsic peculiar characteristic features. So that is. Suppose if the mind is, that means prepared in such a way, it is made free from all these projections. What will happen? Before that, let us see. You see your face in the mirror. Mirror is very clean. Also mirror is plane, not concave or convex, because you will get deformity after. It is neither concave nor convex. It is plane. It is clean. You are standing in front of the mirror. You can see your face or not, exactly as it is. Now, when you are seeing your face, do you see your face with the mirror attached to your face? Do you see the mirror as part and parcel of your face? No. You are seeing, of course, but without mirror, can you see your face? No. But you see your face without the mirror as it part and parcel of that. Like that, the antakarana, the mind which is freed from all these specific projections, is so pure, it is so steady, it should be also made steady, that it is as it were face to face with Chaitanya Swarupa Atma. Actually, it need not be face to face, because the antakarana itself is where? In Atma. Atma in its true nature is where? Reflected there. We can cognize without being aware of antakarana. Without being aware of what? This antakarana. You are not aware of this antakarana. That provision is there in what? In the antakarana. Means this antakarana can assume the form, swarupa of Atma. That means, and make you cognize without itself being coming in picture. Just where mirror can make you see your face without itself coming in picture. You see, without mirror you can't see the face. At the same time, when you see the face, mirror doesn't become the part and parcel of your face. Like that, this antakarana, made up of sattvic content of Panchamahabhutas, has got such a provision in itself that it can be so shuddha, pure means without any specific vrittis of corresponding to any object, being or events, etc. Without any vrittis corresponding to any memories and samskaras, and very steady, not wavering, etc. This provision, this capacity is available in antakarana. It is so designed by Creator. Ishvara has designed that. If this were not so, it is just next to impossible to gain the Atma Jnana, because Atma Anubhava will not be possible. The question is, this exactly the Atma Anubhava, how are you to know? Shruti comes to our help, and it distinguishes this Atma Anubhava from all the rest of Anubhavas that are possible, including all what is nowadays, no, of course not nowadays, but that psychedelic experiences, etc., etc. All experience can be discarded to identify this experience. So therefore, the antakarana, which is the one, the culprit, mind is, see, mind, antakarana, we use the synonyms one for other unless the context demands the distinction. So this antakarana has got a provision in itself of assuming the swarupa form of who? Chaitanya Rupa Atma. Just as the mirror can assume the form of your face or whatever object that is in front of it. Is it? Because the mirror has got that capacity. It is so designed. So therefore, nature of Atma is Ati Shuddha, Ati Nirmala, Ati Swachha. Antakarana has the provision to become accordingly Ati Shuddha, Ati Swachha, Ati Nirmala. What is this Ati Shuddha, Ati Nirmala, Ati Swachha, etc.? Which I have seen. For this, I have repeatedly told, of course, those who are attending Naishkarma, Siddhi, etc. classes, I have brought to your notice this particular aspect as well. Ati Shuddha means Nirmala. So, that is, Atma, Swarupa of Atma is this way. Atyanta Nirmalatva. It has got Atyanta Nirmalatva. What do you mean by Atyanta Nirmalatva? Mala means impurity. Nirmala means absence of impurity, that is purity. What do you mean by here in the case of Atma? That is, it is Nirmala, it is pure. It is Atyanta Nirmalatva means being free from Adhyasta Upadhis. So, Atyanta Nirmalatva stands for Upadhi Rahityam. Chaitanya Rupa Atma, pure awareness principle, is totally free from Upadhis. What are the Upadhis? Gross body, subtle body, including ignorance, the causal body. These are falsely, Adhyasta means falsely attributed, but Chaitanya Rupa Atma is totally free from this Adhyasta Upadhi. So therefore it has got the status of being Atyanta Nirmalatva, means Upadhi Rahitya, free from Adhyasta. Again, Atma has got the status of being Atyanta Swachhatva. It is Atyanta Swachha. Earlier it was Atyanta. Atyanta means totally. Not relatively, sir. Not to some extent. Totally Nirmala. Again, it has got the status of being Atyanta Swachhatva. It has got. Swachhatva stands for clarity. What do you mean by clarity? Rupa Atma. It is like this. So, Atyanta Swachhatva. Swachhatva stands for clarity. Clarity means not getting connected or not getting afflicted by all the defects of Upadhis and what is made known or illumined by Chaitanya Rupa Atma. It is like this. Prakasha, Gunadosha, Sambandha, Shunyatvam. That is Swachhatvam or clarity. Prakasha. What is Prakasha? Whatever that is illumined means made known by Chaitanya Rupa Atma, means entire world, including our Antakarana and the body and sense object and the world, their modification. Prakasha, Gunadosha. The plus factor and minus factors, good and bad aspects of all these. Sambandha Shunyatvam. Nothing, it is not at all connected. Just as light illumines the world, but good and bad aspects of the world have nothing to do with the light. Chaitanya, pure awareness principle makes us know everything, anything and everything, but itself is unaffected or unconnected to the good and bad aspect of that. So that is what is Atyanta Swachhatva, the clarity in terms of Prakasha, Gunadosha, Sambandha, Shunyatvam. Again, it has got the third aspect. Sukshmatvopapattehi. That is Atyanta Nirmalatva, Swachhatva, Sukshmatvopapattehi. Being of such upapatti there, being of such nature. Again it is Atyanta Sukshma. Sukshmatva stands for subtlety. Subtlety. Means the status of being subtle. What do you mean by being subtle? Subtle means Indriya Agochara. True. Why Indriya Agochara? What is Indriya Gochara? Now look here. Our Atma is what Gochara? Atma also has got Gochara. Agochara. Agochara for Indriyas. But here Anubhava Gochara was told. But here that is Sukshma is Indriya Agochara. Means it is not known as the object of the sense organs. What is known as the object of sense organs? What is required for sense organs to know a thing as an object? Gunas, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Prithvi, 5 gunas, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, that most gross. You can see, hear, taste, touch, smell. Gandha is not there, smell is not there. Have seen? If water smells, from where the smell comes? Something else, not from the water. Water doesn't have smell. So, fire, water has taste. Fire has no smell, no taste. Form is there. Air, no form. Like that, we go to space, only sound is there. So, less the gunas, less the gocharatva, more the subtlety. Atma is most sukshma. Why? Nirguna, ashabdam, asparsham, arupam, avyayam, tatha arasam, agandhavat. So, Atma is free from all the 5 attributes, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. So, therefore, Nirguna, being Nirguna, it is totally Indriya, Agochara. So, that is what is said as what? It is, that is being free, that is Sukshmatva, Atyanta Sukshmatva. Now, Atyanta Sukshmatvopapattehe Atmanaha. This is the nature of Atma. Atma is Atyanta Nirmala, Atyanta Swachha, Atyanta Sukshma. What are these 3 words we have seen? And similarly, Antakarana also can become, not as it is now. Antakarana also can become Atyanta Sukshma, Atyanta Nirmala, Swachha and Atyanta Sukshma to make you know what Atma is. It will be there. Antakarana will be there. But like mirror. Mirror is there which makes you know, see your face, but itself doesn't come in the picture. Likewise, Antakarana still being there. Antakarana is Upadhi. Still being there. What it can be? It can conform itself to the Atyanta Nirmalatva, Swachatva and Sukshmatva of Atma. Therefore, Bhashyakara says, Buddhescha Atma Sama Nairmalyadyupapattehe. Buddhesha. Buddhi stands for Antakarana. Don't care, because Mana, Buddhi, etc. in the Bhashyas and Upanishads, one for other they are used. We have to see the context and see the meaning. Here it stands for, Bhashyakara has used that. Buddhesha means for Antakarana. Atma Sama Nairmalyadyupapattehe. And therefore, Atma Chaitanyakara Bhasatvopapattihi. You can just make a note. 18th chapter, stanza 50, Bhagavad Gita, Bhashya. Okay. Don't ask me what is that afterward, what that word, this word, etc. Refer to Bhashya, those who have got Bhashya book. Others simply don't bother about the Sanskrit thing. Simply just you listen and understand that way. So, that were Buddhescha Atma Sama Nairmalyadyupapattehi. In Buddhi, appearance of Atma Sama Nairmalya. That Nirmalata as Atma, Adi for Swachhata as Atma, Sukshmata as Atma is possible. Therefore, what happens? This Antakarana is capable of assuming the form or nature of Atma, that Bhashyakara says. Atma Chaitanyakara means, Akara means appearance or identity of Atma Chaitanyakara. Abhasatvopapattihi. Abhasatva is semblance, likeness. Upapatti here is possible, means for Antakarana it is possible to appear exactly like what? Atma in its true nature, free from even the Pramata, the Anubhavita. In short, what it means is, don't get confused, Antakarana, our mind can assume the Swarupa, the nature of Atma, just as the mirror can assume your form of your face or whatever that is in front of that. Actually, what do you mean by reflection? We see what? Reflection. What do you mean by reflection? The mirror assumes the form of your, whatever that is in the object in front of it. Likewise, what has got this Antakarana can assume. So that is what the Swarupa of Atma. So that is in Hindi we can say अंतःकरण आत्म स्वरूप को अपनाता है. अपनाता है. अपनाता means becoming just like that. Becoming just like that. That this is possible when antakarana assumes the Atma Swarupa. That is what is Atma Anubhava. Wherein the Pramata is not there. Anubhavita is not there. What is there only? Atma, Atma, Atma. But how can you know when Pramata is not there? Because Atma is what? Anubhava Swarupa. Light doesn't need any light. So this doesn't need any other thing to make you know. Therefore it is Anubhava Swarupa. This is Atma Anubhava, wherein mind assumes the Atma Swarupa without Pramata and without Anubhavita. In fact, to gain Atma Jnana, this is necessary. Not only that, for Shruti Pramana to operate, this Atma Anubhava is required. We say Shruti is what? Means of knowledge. Knowledge as to what my Swarupa is. For that Shruti to operate as a means of knowledge, what is required is this Atma Anubhava is required. For example, eyes can make you see the form. Is it not? Chakshuhu, eyes serve as the means of knowledge to see the form. Provided what? Light is there. If light is not there, though your eyes are very perfect, better than eagle's eyes. I don't say vulture's eyes, okay? Better than eagle's eyes, what will happen? In spite of having these eyes, in spite of the object being right in front of your eye, let us say, you in pitch darkness, you hold your finger like this. Pitch darkness, you can't see that also. What happens? You can't see likewise. So, for this, that means, now you say, this is, look here. You say, this is microphone. Some person was saying, oh, what is this back? Also is a pronoun. Okay? When Ayam Atma Brahma, if that Ayam is not available in terms of Atma Anubhava, how that Shruti or Mahavaka work Ayam? This is this Atma. Not possible. Means for that Ayam what is required? Atma Anubhava is required. Tattvamasi. You are that Brahma. You is not known. What is our present you? Samsari. Then what is applied to you? You are this book. All the way I went to Mahabaleshwar to know something about me. And what is told? Because we know that there is something called Brahma, Ishvara. And if you know the knowledge of Brahma, you can get rid from that. And what is said? You are Brahma. I know who am I. Who am I? A Samsari. And what will happen? Samsari, me is who? A Samsari. Not a Samsari for the time, because when you equate Samsari with Brahma, Brahma also will become Samsari. Therefore, when Shruti says you are Brahma, that you is not samsari, the true you, freed from all these wrong notions, that is what Shuddha Chaitanya you have to appreciate. That's why a technical term used is Shodhitatvam. Shodhitatvam means the tvam which is ascertained in its and directly cognized in its true nature. Also, Aham Brahmasmi. Suresh Acharya in Nishkamasiddhi, he says that Aham stands for this. What is that? Nirasta Shesha Yushmadaha Pratyagatmarthaha. When you say Aham Brahmasmi, not I am Brahma means presently what is I? Samsari or asamsari? Samsari. Not that one. Nirasta Ashesha. The one from whom without anything whatsoever Ashesha, Yushmadaha means Anatma. All upadhis are. They are eliminated means Pratyagatma only. That is Brahma. So that means when Mahavakyas operate by Lakshartha, implied meaning, that Lakshartha has to be obtained in what way? By Anubhava or not. Otherwise these words are not going to function. So wherever, otherwise you have to say, if you say Shruti Pramana, what should happen? Shruti can be Pramana provided Ayam in Ayam Atma Brahma, Aham in Tattvamasi, Aham in Aham Brahmasi, or Pradhanam Brahma also. What is Pradhanam? Free from all upadhi. Has to be directly cognized. Atma Anubhava must be there. Then Shruti comes and tells, this is your Swarupa Brahma. Now, if Shruti were not to come and tell me, you can tell me. There is no means whatsoever, because that is anadhigata, not known by any other means than Shruti. This is how the Shruti Pramana works. Otherwise, if you say this Atma Anubhava is not there, then what will happen, knowledge gained to Shruti will be paroksha like Swarga. Like Swarga, etc. They're not verifiable, but you can certainly understand them that this is what the Swarga is. So now, that it is right. When we say that Shruti is Pramana, this Atma Anubhava as a very basis is required, otherwise it is just not possible to have the aparoksha jnana. One more thing. Shruti is Pramana, but knowledge of Atma is paroksha, like Swarga. Fine. And at the same time, what is said? Atma is Anubhava Swarupa. Atma is Anubhava Swarupa. Atma is Aparoksha. You know what is Atma is Aparoksha? What do you mean by Aparoksha? Neither Pratyaksha nor Paroksha. Neither direct perceptible, not remote. Means what is the thing which is neither directly perceptible right now here in front of you in terms of perception, and not remote? What is that? Only one eye. Atma is Aparoksha, means myself. Atma is Anubhava Swarupa, means Pramata, etc. Pramana is not required. Atma is Saprakash Swarupa, means very knowledge principles. But knowledge of Atma is what? Paroksha. Can there be any ridiculous thing than this? You can't say Atma is Aparoksha, means it is something really me, but its knowledge is indirect. Why it should be? That means, what it means is, Antakarna, if it were not possible for Antakarna to assume the Swarupa of Atma, you can say what? Atma is Aparoksha, but knowledge has to be always Paroksha only. It is not so. That provision is there. That's why Shruti says, even Vedanta is Pramana. Do you know what Pramana it is? It knocks off the Pramata and itself retires. In direct cognition of my Swarupa, when Antakarna has assumed the nature of Atma, the Pramana has done the job, Pramata also gone, that Pramana also is afterward redundant. It has nothing to do. One has got totally, that's what? One's own Swarupa. That's why, as per the Shruti, we have to ascertain this Atma Anubhava. And Shankaracharya at one place says, please don't mistake that this Atma Anubhava is some vision or some Bhranti, etc. It is ascertained based on the Shruti. So therefore he says, Bhrantirva iti vaktum ashakyam. Not Brihadaranyaka, Brahmatra Bhasha 2.1.14. He says, this Atma Anubhava. So don't say that it is, what is that? Because we have got many experiences. Along that, there also is another experience, maybe very absorbing, very desirable experience. Maybe one of them. Don't think that to be a Bhranti. Why? Shruti ascertained. This exactly is what your Swarupa. If Shruti were not to point out, and if we are not to inquire or guidance of Shruti, even if Atma Anubhava is there, Atma Jnana is not there. Glaring example is Ashtanga Yogi. Ashtanga Yogi, by Ashtanga Yoga, in the Nirvikalpa Samadhi, has really got the Atma Anubhava. Because Antakarna becomes so Shuddha that it conforms to the Swarupa of Atma. But unfortunately, we having not taken to inquiry as per the guidance of Shruti, you know what is that? I, by which I identify the body? By Ashtanga Yoga, God is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. I should be always in this because the world is too much for me. Shruti Pramana he has not cared for. Actually, Ashtanga Yogi, if he really has got Nirvikalpa Samadhi, for him to get Atma Jnana is just like this. Little inquiry has to take to, because he has already got the Atman, he has to figure out what is, this is my Swarupa with the help of the Shruti. It is not at all difficult unless the mind is not open. So that is that's so you can hear also, you can understand. Why Shruti insists on Shuddha Antakarna? Why Shruti insists on Shuddha Antakarna and Nishchala Antakarna for Vedanta Pramana to operate? It is just like your light necessary to see the form. If Shuddha and Nishchala Antakarna, Atma Anubhava is not possible, Atma Anubhava is not possible, Pramana cannot work except Paroksha Jnana. Aparoksha Jnana it cannot give, therefore it is necessary. And if this Atma Anubhava is not accepted, in Vedanta there are few places, Jnana Nishtha, Jivan Mukti, Sthita Prajna, and many passages of Bhashya, one cannot discern, one has to literally blow hot and cold to fix this places. It can be nothing but rambling semantic or verbal jargon. Nothing to do with what has been told there at all. So Atma Anubhava is a very basic constituent of Atma Jnana. Now here another problem is that Anubhava word also means Jnana. Anubhava word also means Anubhava generally is taken as what? Experience. But Anubhava word also means Jnana, or by means by which one can gain the knowledge. Different word meanings are there. Now, if we take, because in some Upanishads and Bhasha places, wherever Anubhava comes, if you replace that word by Jnana, Aparoksha Jnana, we are going to land in absurdity. For example, Anubhavasanatvat, Brahma Jnanas Anubhavasanatvat, Bhuta Vishayatva, Bhuta Vastu Vishayatvacha, Sutra Bhasha. Brahma Sutra Bhasha. Brahma Jnana culminates in Anubhava. And it is about a Bhuta Vastu. An existent thing. Don't think that you are creating Brahma, you are creating Atma. No. Atma is always there, Brahma is always there, very knowledge principle. Only problem is you don't know. That's all. So, but that knowledge has to culminate in Anubhava. Now, if only because the word Anubhava can also mean Jnana, and you replace the word Anubhava in such place by Paroksha, then what will happen? Brahma Jnanasya Anubhava Avasana is what is Avasana? Uska Avasan ho gaya. What does it mean? Avasan is? And departure. So, means end it is. So, Avasana means, there what is meant? Brahma Jnanasya Anubhava Avasanatma means Brahma Jnana ends, culminates, means final of Brahma Jnana is what? Anubhava. Means, if that Anubhava is that you can say, yes, I have got a Brahman. Now there, and what that Anubhava is Atma Anubhava. That pointed out, this is what Brahma is pointed out. That's the final knowledge. Now at such place, only because the word Anubhava means Atma Jnana, not Atma Jnana, any Jnana. Only Anubhava means Jnana, and in the case of Atma it must be Aparoksha Jnana. If you replace that Anubhava with Aparoksha Jnana, do you know what will happen? Atma is Anubhava Swarupa. And Anubhava is what now? Aparoksha Jnana. Therefore Atma is Aparoksha Jnana Swarupa. Simple algebra. don't think much. A is equal to B, B is equal to C, therefore A is equal to C. Okay, that's all. If Anubhava is what? Aparoksha Jnana, because we are talking of Atma, not any other knowledge. Aparoksha Jnana. Atma is Anubhava Swarupa. Atma is equal to Anubhava Swarupa. Replace Anubhava by Aparoksha Jnana. Atma is Aparoksha Jnana Swarupa. Not a big thing is that concept. Okay, just we have replaced the Anubhava word with Aparoksha Jnana with the meaning. Okay, Atma is Aparoksha Jnana Swarupa. Do you agree? Think. If Atma is Aparoksha Jnana Swarupa, what will happen? No? What will happen? Tell. Do you know Atma Swarupa? Have you got Atma Jnana? If you said yes, I will be happy, but not earlier. After coming to Malaysia, I got. Look, we take Vedanta for what? Because you have Jnana or not. If you have Jnana, is there need of taking Vedanta? No. Okay. If you are, look, I am not talking to you because you have already, so you must have already got knowledge. I give the benefit of doubt to you. Ask a lay person, sir, do you know your Swarupa is Brahmananda Swarupa, free from Janma Marana? What will they say? What are you talking? Because he knows that you are a sensible person. Okay, he can't brush you aside. Sir, what are you telling me? I don't know. When he says, I don't know, what is it, ignorance or not? Does he experience the ignorance or not? I don't know my Swarupa is experience. Okay, if Atma is Anubhava Swarupa, Aparoksha Jnana Swarupa, how come Ajnana be in the present of Jnana? Light can't be the present. Darkness cannot be in the presence of light. Atma Ajnana and Atma Jnana cannot exist. So therefore, Anubhava cannot be taken here as what? Aparoksha Jnana. You have to have a status of Anubhava distinct from Jnana. Otherwise, Aparoksha Atma will become Anubhava Swarupa, means Aparoksha Jnana Swarupa. In the presence of Aparoksha Jnana, Ajnana cannot coexist. But you and me are ignorant of our Swarupa. That is why we struggle in terms of Vedanta, etc. discover our Swarupa. So you can't give that meaning. That is for that in this context as such. That being the case, so what is required? That is Atma Anubhava is the most, that is the essential, that is basic constituent of this. What is it? The Atma Jnana. Other aspect is that Shruti is Pramana for Atma Jnana. The Atma Swarupa is of this nature. Is it verifiable or non-verifiable? Question is, Shruti Pramana, is it verifiable Pramana or non-verifiable Pramana? Heaven is like this Shruti is Pramana, but non-verifiable. But in the case of Atma Swarupa, it is not that. It is a verifiable Pramana. For example, let us say a boy, born blind. Okay? Born blind. After 20 years, let us say, some new surgery is available. And the eyes are operated. Till now the person was unable to see. That means the eyes of Pramana to see the form was not available. Now after the surgery, so is he able to verify or not? He may look at experience will be there of the things. He will have to be told, this is microphone, this is, so that is what rose, this is mountain, this is tree. All these have to be told in terms of form, but experience is there or not? It is verifiable. Yes, I am capable of seeing. He is verifiable for him, is it not? So though likewise, Shruti is pramana to gain Atma Jnana. It is not that it is non-verifiable pramana, it is certainly verifiable pramana. And therefore, to verifiable pramana without Atmanubhava is just not possible, because we are not talking of some Nitya Paroksha Atma, but it is Nitya Aparoksha Atma. So therefore it is verifiable, and from that standpoint also that Atmanubhava is an essential basic constituent of Atma Jnana. Atma Jnana. Without that, that Jnana is only Paroksha, and you are going to reduce Pramana of Shruti to give only Paroksha Jnana and not Aparoksha Jnana. From that standpoint, one more doubt is that we will see and then proceed further. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तः न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः सुखमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं शोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति 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 हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ Oh